The Training Center for Civil Protection and Disaster Relief was established within the administration of the Republic of Slovenia for Civil Protection and Disaster Relief in 1992. It became operational in December 1994.
The center's primary activity is the training of civil protection members, firefighters, members of rescue services and organizations, members of the Slovenian Armed Forces and the police and other included in emergency response in the event of natural and other disasters. The center organizes international trainings and the exchange of knowledge and experience with similar centers abroad. Trainings are also organized in centers units located in Sežana, Logatec and Pekre. If the program so demands, they may also be organized outside the center or its units.
The training center located in Ig, on the margins of the Ljubljana Marsh, is only 15 kilometers from Ljubljana. The proximity of Slovenia's capital, the rich natural and cultural heritage in the surroundings, the marsh with its specific ecosystem, the forests of the Krim Plateau and the Cranach remains discovered nearby that date back to the period between the end of the Neolithic and the Late Bronze Age, attribute a special value to the location and provide the center's visitors with excellent opportunities for training and leisure time activities.
Residential facilities, classrooms and training grounds spread across more than 7 hectares of surface.
At the reception desk, visitors of the center receive all the information they require. Those who are attending several day-long courses are offered accommodation. The center offers 40 double beds in the central facility and 6 supplementary rooms with 17 beds in an outbuilding.
All the meals are provided for. The kitchen staff can prepare for up to 300 meals for training participants, guests and employees.
The central facility includes classrooms and an auditorium specifically designed for the organization of large-scale group meetings of up to 130 participants or small-scale work meetings.
In all 13 classic classrooms that can accept from 20 to 40 participants and a few premises suitable for smaller groups, the center, with the help of employees of the Administration for Civil Protection and Disaster Relief and over 100 external lecturers and instructors, carries out approximately 100 different programs.
The trainings may last from a few hours to several weeks. A vast majority of programs are short, lasting only from 1 to 3 days. For participants who prefer to come more often and stay for a shorter period of time, such organization is much more suitable. The longest program, the Firefighter Certification Program, lasts 6 months.
The trainings focus on active inclusion of participants through various practical exercises, accident simulations, work groups, case studies, and a number of other learning methods. Mandatory theoretical contents are transferred to e-classrooms and classic learning material.
For specific target group trainings, the center has a number of specially equipped classrooms, such as the chemical classroom and the staff room.
The staff room is equipped with personal computers connected to the LAN network, and other equipment providing for simulations and work with computer applications for protection and rescue purposes.
The center has all the equipment necessary for the organization of international trainings. Every year, a number of international courses with Slovenian and foreign lecturers is organized for the domestic and the foreign expert public.
The training ground encompasses over 1/2 of the total surface area. The training facilities are specifically designed for the demonstration of different accident situations. Such training sites provide for realistic training situations. The majority of facilities, however, are intended for firefighter training.
Participants are trained on equipment and special technical vehicles for fire extinguishing that are used in Slovenia in a number of different accident situations.
The gym and the fitness room are intended for maintaining physical condition that, in the light of the increasingly demanding operational work, has now become a constituent part of any training.
The breathing apparatus enables work and survival in difficult situations. Course participants learn the correct use of the breathing apparatus on the track that can be modified using different obstacles and smoke, fire or noise simulations. The instructors manage the track from the control room and monitor the situation by means of thermal imaging cameras.
The premises next door contain gymnastic tools on which participants' physical capacity to carry out basic ergonomic exercises while using a breathing apparatus is tested.
The smokehouse enables the participants to master movement and orientation in smoke-filled premises.
Facilities at the training grounds provide a realistic situation as possible for practical training of firefighters. Firefighting is most successful if firefighters are well acquainted with fundamental principles to which they are initially introduced through scale models. They later supplement their knowledge and test it in the set facilities. The conditions in the premises imitate a real fire situation where lives are threatened. Provision of safety and security is therefore of utmost importance.
The firehouse with smoke simulators can simulate the situation in a burning house. The facility is also suitable for classic ventilation exercises with negative and positive pressure ventilation system devices.
The most demanding and dangerous exercises in extinguishing of indoor fires can be carried out in the large gas firehouse.
Intervention in tunnels requires additional knowledge. In the training tunnel, a number of different emergency response exercises in the event of fire, traffic accidents, or accidents involving hazardous substances can be carried out. They can be adjusted to firefighters carrying out rescue activities in and in front of the tunnels.
In addition to classic methods of extinguishing fires in the natural environment, firefighters are also taught the correct and safe movement alongside and inside the aircraft included in fire extinguishing activities.
In multi-story buildings, access to fire is hindered. Fire extinguishing in multi-story buildings is trained on a tower, where firefighters practice basic intervention procedures using appropriate equipment.
The 15-meter high tower and the multi-story collapse building are also intended for high-altitude rescue training. Firefighters and members of other units and organizations learn to use rope techniques and the rescue procedures appropriately.
The Ruies training ground is used for training of technical rescuers, geophonists and other civil protection members. The Ruies are suitable for conducting the testing of equipment and the search of the injured trapped under the ruins.
On the training ground for the simulation of traffic accidents, firefighters train for rescue in the event of accidents involving personal vehicles and for especially challenging accidents involving cargo vehicles and buses. The training procedures are primarily oriented towards helping the injured persons as soon as possible and, at the same time, to providing the highest possible level of traffic and fire safety. For purposes of training, modern hydraulic and pneumatic equipment providing for rapid and appropriate intervention is used. The intervention procedures are constantly adapting to the rapid technological development of vehicles and their particularities.
At accidents involving hazardous substances, knowledge is just as important as physical preparedness. Firefighters are trained in accurate identification of hazardous substances, the selection of appropriate level of protection, and the appropriate tactical approach in relation to the type and level of the accident and weather conditions.
Intervention of first responders in rescue operations on more or less approachable terrain requires special skills and equipment. It is essential that participants learn such things at training already. Appropriate care of the injured, preparations and transfer are the considerations to be taken into account for successful rescue operations. The Centre also organises different forms of water rescue.
Organisation of mountain rescue trainings is highly demanding due to different user groups. Aviation rescuers and medical rescuers are trained for carrying out rescue activities with the use of a helicopter.
The Ruies training grounds offer good conditions for the training of cynologists and their companions, who present an important part of the protection and rescue system.
The natural pond, 10 by 15 meters large, and the 4 meters deep heated and covered pool are intended for water rescue and surface water rescue training. The walls of the pool have windows for the monitoring of underwater activities.
Members of units for protection against unexploded explosive ordnance have classrooms with specific learning tools at their disposal. The participants can consolidate their theoretic knowledge in 2 cabinets in which they use items that resemble those they will use in practice after successful completion of training.
Due to the requirements for special forms of training and for purposes of enhancement of readiness for certain types of accidents, special units within the training centre were established. The Sejana unit is intended for training of firefighters and for providing accommodation in the time of increased fire hazard or in the event of natural fires in the karst region. Speleologists and other rescuers also train in this unit.
The unit in Pekre near Maribor is intended for the training of volunteer firefighters and for technical training of other target groups in northeastern Slovenia.
Facilities in Logatec are intended for the accommodation of inhabitants evacuated in the event of larger accidents, for the training of technical rescue units, and for the training of the search of the missing persons under the ruins. The centre's activity is attractive to various delegations and youth. Excellent opportunities for getting acquainted with the centre's activities are organised tours and the visit of the final exercise of the new generation of firefighters, where they demonstrate their knowledge and skills at a number of operating points.
Through its expert personnel, facilities and equipment, the centre provides quality training for all persons involved in protection, rescue and relief activities in the event of natural and other disasters.